Yesterday, the San Francisco 49ers were big winners across the NFL with their trade of Chase Young from the Commanders for just a compensatory third-round pick. Obviously, there was a lot that went into the trade and a bunch of different situations that were playing out. We heard lots of rumors about the 49ers potentially being in on Jalen Johnson and other players and all these different types of things. But what's really cool is we got to hear from John Lynch and a little bit of the behind the scenes on what into Chase Young and the way the 49ers are looking at this internally and everything in between. John Lynch went on KNBR this morning to discuss all these different things and wanted to share it with you and take a listen to what John Lynch is perceiving this move, how they're looking at it internally. Does this fix all the 49ers problems? John Lynch is going to talk about it right here.
Big, hearty congratulations. It's a high-stakes game you play.
Work.
It's a big,
nice work.
high-wire game, and I think pretty much every rational 49er fan is pretty pumped.
How do you not like this?
Move.
Yeah.
I guess my question to you is, how are you feeling about it after a night's sleep?
Well, I'm feeling good. You know, I like being positivity, and I was happy that we're not used to losing 3 straight. We're not used to losing. I mean, shoot, we won 13 straight regular season games, and so not been a real fun and exciting time around here. And so yesterday, look, I think we all got to be careful that one guy's not going to change what's kind of ailed us here in these last 3 games. We all got to look inward. We got to fix that. We've been working long and hard to identifying, how do you play so well through 5 weeks and then not do so through 3. And one guy's not going to change that. But you always, want to look long and hard and see if, without sacrificing, the future and, utilizing so many assets that you're left without draft choices and such, can we help ourselves? And we felt like yesterday we had an opportunity with a really good player that we've admired for a long time. I mean, former number 2 pick in the draft, played with Bosa at Ohio State, and it came together. And I'm, very appreciative to Martin Mayhew. Used to work with us here, old teammate of mine in Tampa. And, we'd been talking for some time on this, and he did a great job of kind of just keeping me abreast of where it was at, and ultimately we were able to pull off a deal that made sense for both teams. So Chase is flying in today, and he's been playing, so I anticipate everything will go well in the physical, but I think Giants fans around here in baseball are aware of what can happen in physicals, and so we'll just cross our fingers that everything's good there.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously we're fingers crossed on that, and hopefully the kid is ready to go. And I say kid, he's very young.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the player himself. You said it's a player you've admired for a long time. He does come off a significant injury. So how did that factor into your evaluation of him? Have you seen? I guess the question is he sort of still on the mend from that?
Well, I mean, you never discount ACLs because, I mean, they're a significant thing, but they aren't what they used to be. It's they don't cast you for 6 months. I mean, they're pretty aggressive, and they've gotten really good in these rehabs. The great news is this guy's been playing, and he's been playing a lot. I mean, a number of games where he's up over 60 snaps. So, I mean, that's what's been on film, and he's been very effective. He's been pressuring the quarterback well. Showing the ability of the guy that was drafted, he finds his way to the quarterback, plays the run well, really good football player. And so we believe, we always have, I think our moves have reflected that really the defensive lineman is kind of the engine that can drive, I believe, not just your defense, but your entire team. And when we can add a piece, and this was one of those. The pick we ultimately used was a pick that we got for, either Rand Carthon or D'Amico Ryans. That the incentive program that the league has when minorities get hired in premium positions. We call it the Rand Miko because we're not sure who it is. It's nice. One of the two.
Yeah.
But that's I talked to Rand yesterday and looking forward to talking to D'Amico, saying, hey, thank you guys. This is this is compliments of you. So we were excited, and I will tell you, it's always interested me, the dynamics of the team. We got a lot of players who are really good people and good pros. And man, they've been hurting a little bit, feeling like they've been letting our team, our community, our fans down. And I did sense in the building that this kind of gave a lift. And you're forgetful of that sometimes, that a thing like this can lift a team. And I felt that yesterday as we were taking off for the bye week. But the important thing is to know that he's not going to be the magic answer. We all got to play better and make the plays at the given time for us to get back to what our standard.
Well, John, you're talking about the caliber of people that you've assembled in the building and the 49er culture and what it's become over your time in Santa Clara. And talk to us about the kind of young man he is, like Chase Young. How's that fit going to go, just with the culture and personality types and all that?
Yeah, people I really respect think highly of the young man. I know there's some things coming out, and they seemingly always do. But we're not worried about that. My John and Kathy Lynch taught me long ago, make your own judgment on people. You obviously have to talk to people who you respect. You have to do your homework. But I think highly of Chase. The people whom I respect who've been in that building think highly of him. And I know that Nick Bosa thinks very highly of him. And, that means a lot to us because Nick's words are never hollow. Nick, I think sometimes, like, the economy of words, what Nick Bosa can say in a few words, I wish I had that skill. He just says it all like that. And I didn't call Nick till afterwards, but I can tell you that Nick's very excited about the opportunity to play with Chase.
Okay, you talked about, it's not one guy doesn't change everything, and obviously not 53. It's a team game from, my gosh, special teams on down. But that said, this brings a focus on the D-line. And you opened the conversation by talking about, you were like, kind of grumpy and not feeling too good. So does this, I guess the question is this a statement that the D-line hasn't been performing to your expectation and needed help?
No, I think in the last 3 weeks, none of us have. And one thing I learned a long time ago about D-line, I played with some of the greats ever, Warren Sapp, Simeon Rice was an unbelievable footballer. Our D-line in Tampa was special. But I was always cognizant that it only worked if we were all doing our job at the second level, the linebackers at the secondary. And we've just been a little off. We got to tie it all together. I think people understand the D-line we have. There's been a lot of quick throws. The other thing I know is, there's an old saying in football, you have to earn the right to rush the passer. And how do you do that? You stop the run early on first and second down, and we haven't been doing a good enough job on that. So that's everybody. That's not just the D-line. It's our entire defensive unit. It's our entire team. We got to do things to our standard, and when we do those, we're a tough team to deal with. And we got a little funk, and I don't like it. We don't like it, and we gotta fix it. And we get our little bye week, and then we go down to Jacksonville, who's a really hot team, a good football team. So I think the reality of the NFL, which is that this can be a humbling game. We were humming along at 5-0, and I think the hardest thing is no one anticipated this because we were playing so well. But that's this league. It's tough. It's tough to win every game, and we were rolling along 13 straight in the regular season. And we got punched in the mouth, and we haven't responded, and we need to respond. And I'm confident that we've done a lot of work identifying what's been kind of going wrong, and now we got to fix it.
As always, shout out to KMBR for getting this audio. They meet with John Lynch every single week, so we're able to get all these little nuggets from them. And the perfect time, because as we know, the trade was just made yesterday, so it's still fresh in our minds, and we get some awesome perspective from John Lynch on the matter. So what did you think about what John Lynch had to say? He mentions various different things about the trade and about Steve Wilkes and all these different things. What did you think about what he had to say about how this move can help the defense and how the 49ers need to continue to move after the bye? Let me know how you guys think about what he had to say in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe. And don't forget, if you want to watch the entire interview, go to KMBR's link in the description. Make sure you sub to their channel and catch their live shows. You can also go back and you can find the full interview on KNBR's YouTube or their podcast platform on KNBR.com.